Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. Happy Revenge of the Sith, or Revenge of the Sixth, rather. We are this far into our friend C-3PO, so I'm going to pick up where we left off. And that will be with, I think, bag 7. Is that right? Let's see. That will be with bag 6. Let me find the bags here. Here we go. All right, so let's continue. I also have a couple of other sets that I'm going to build today that are small, but we'll get through this one first, and then I'll share why I'm building the other ones when I get to them. This has been a fun build so far. I didn't do any more since Monday. I just continued where I left off on Monday, as I wanted to do this on stream with y'all, but just figured it would be fun to continue the Star Wars fun. I feel like it goes by so quickly with May the 4th, and so it's nice to have an extra day that we can spend on this. Yesterday, we didn't watch any more Star Wars, but we did on Monday night. We got through the entire first season of Andor, and so we're not caught up, but we are through a big portion of it, which is good. And so now we have the next season to pick up. So I'm going to convince Philip that we need to prioritize that because I really want to continue so that we remember and stay fresh with the stories it's going. Hey, JJ, good to see you. I am having a good day, thank you. How about you? How was your day? Things here have been pretty good. Kind of cleaning a little bit and organizing a little bit. Last night I started to do a very large sort of parts that are in some sets that just needs to be parted out, as well as just in the bin of things that needs to be unbuilt and sorted. So my approach with that is I set out a bunch of the bins that I have that are like this size. I'll set out like 8 or 9 of them, and then I will take the huge amount of parts and I will sort them into 2 by parts. So 2 by 4, 2 by 6, 2 by 3, etc. And 1 by bricks and 2 by bricks and like that kind of thing into a first sort. And then after I go through that first sort, then I'll go back through and sort each individual bin into wherever they need to go. So that helps me make it less overwhelming. And we were actually able to do, or we're able to do that actually while we're like watching TV or whatever. So that's nice. Yeah. Awesome. Only had 2 lessons at uni today. Good stuff. What classes are you taking this semester or this term? I'm not sure if you call them semesters there. I remember living life through the lens of university world where it was like everything was we talked about was in the fall semester or spring semester. Hello, hi Victor, good to see you. um, but yeah, so we just operated where that was constantly the seasons of life. And part of that too was I for most of my life was in a school environment, but then in my professional career I started working full-time at a university in Miami. And so the seasons were like hurricane season or not hurricane season. So it wasn't like traditional winter, spring, summer, fall. And then moving to Texas, it's kind of the same thing. Like it's either hot or not as hot here. So yeah, we operated in this like which season it was based on semesters. And it took me a long time to stop using that language when I moved to corporate, where then we talked about quarters. Everything was in quarters. So it's always interesting to me to see like within any type of job or workplace environment or whatever, how there's all these different subcultures that exist. It's really fascinating that like you oh wait, I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? Oh, that's what I did wrong. Okay. Let me try this again. So I think right now what I'm building is the base that he'll stand on. It looks like that's probably what's coming together. So um, I had put all of these plates on and I am off by 1 stud with this and have to rebuild all of it. So boo. But at least I figured it out now as opposed to way down the line with the build. Let's see. Curriculum is the same for everyone, like a timetable in school. We have some IT stuff and some library-related classes. Nice. That's cool. Will your degree be information sciences, or what will they call it? And how many years have you been doing uni? So excited to hear about your journey as a student. It's so fun. I really do. Some days I really do miss working in education. I remember that time fondly in my life. So really loved my classes and like all the different cool things that you got to do on a college campus and such. Oh, spam risk. I'm not answering that phone call. Library and information science. Nice. I just started my second semester. So you're in your first year. Nice. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Well, it's been fun to hear more about kind of what your whole journey has been there, and I love getting the updates regularly. So keep it up. And excited to hear about your internship once you get there too. So it sounds like a really cool place. All right. So yeah, we were building out the base, and it looks like we're leaving a space kind of towards the middle, which is where this will connect in the middle. So I'm sure that'll all make sense once we get to that point. So today in the LEGO Ambassador Network, in our like internal channels and stuff, I submitted some feedback on the Pokemon TCG thing and talked about how there have been a number of people I know who had the same problem I did, where they didn't see that the dimensions were a part of it. And so I was like, I'm not saying this to complain. It's just to let you know that as like the user experience was a little rough because I didn't see, and other people I know didn't see the dimensions right away. So I gave the recommendation that they keep those dimension or anything that's like a requirement for Lego Ideas Challenge very clear in the top portion of it, or in the section that says rules, but not including anything new in the how it works section, since I think a lot of people would be apt to skip that if they've done Lego Ideas submissions before, and would miss, like I did and like some other people did as well, the specific requirements that are listed there. So hopefully that'll make some positive change in the future. I did submit Rowlett, and I got the feedback that I was expecting once I knew that the dimensions were off, that I needed to resubmit with new dimensions. And they give you a day extension if you submit and they give you feedback. So I technically have another day to work on it. I don't know if I will. Just quite frankly, I don't know that I have time to redesign it because I designed it physically, and so I'd have to basically start over and design it digitally. But we'll see. I might. Regardless, though, I'm very happy that I built it because it's fun, and I'm excited that I can display it at conventions and other places. So I will share some higher quality photos and such of it, and of my Applin one as well, sometime soon. And I'm getting the pieces as well to be able to fully build out both of them. So that's cool. So I really love the creativity that comes from that. And truthfully, I think it's a great opportunity for people to practice, grow their skills, build community among other builders too. So that's been a lot of fun. I love that platform, and I think that it's great for connecting with other builders um, and such. So, I hope they continue to do these challenges. And I like that a lot of the challenges that they produce don't really come with any prize in particular. And I think that's fine. It doesn't need to always include that. So, obviously, the ones where they do have a prize like this one, they end up getting a lot of engagement on. But there's plenty of opportunity to flex your skills and practice just in the regular community challenges that they offer. So yeah, but wanted to share that with y'all, that I passed on feedback that I got from some of you, as well as that I personally had with it as well. So they tend to be really receptive and kind there too. I feel like the Lego group hires wonderful people, so that's always really good. And there have been like over 400 submissions that were approved. And I'm curious as to how many additional ones got submitted that weren't approved, because the volume is massive. Like, that's a lot of submissions to have to wade through, so I don't envy their job having to go through and narrow things down. It's a lot for sure, but it's also awesome just to see that number or that volume of creativity coming through, so kudos to everyone who was able to make time for it and make it work. I don't typically design digitally. I design physically first, and then I'll transfer it into digital instructions if I want to. And that is in part because I do have a lot of bricks here, so that helps to be able to have, that opportunity to build for my own stash. But that said, like it's a lot harder to make changes to a build when it's physical first, because you kind of have to unbuild a lot of it often to make some small adjustments here and there. And so I'm feeling like I need to be better about starting digital first, maybe, or doing it at the same time potentially. I don't know, if it's for things like this type of a challenge. So but I thought it was a really fun challenge opportunity, and I'm excited there's a new one that's just being announced right now, and it is a basketball mascot one, and I just think it's so fun and so clever, so it'll be really cool to see what people create there. It's one where I thought maybe I might participate, but we'll see. It just depends on time for sure. I just love creating characters, so I thought that might be a fun one. So. Hi, Stefan. Good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Happy Revenge of the Sixth. So, what did you all do for Star Wars evening? JJ, did you start watching any? Did you dive in, or are you still waiting? Zero pressure, but I just know you asked the question of where to begin, and then you got a lot of answers from a lot of people. So, so yeah, curious on if we overwhelmed you enough that you didn't do anything with that, which is fine. All right. So the base is very simple so far. I mean, it's got some nice tiling details and such, but um, actually was thinking because Philip was just at the Academy Awards museum. Like, maybe this will look and feel like an Academy Award. It's gold, and they'll be like one you can hold. So, all right, we've got them attached. It just pushed down on top, and of course, I'm sure we're going to overlap with plates and things here, so that's going to hold it in place. Um, but yeah, it's looking good, and I also like that now that it's attached because they were a little bit wobbly standing on their own. So. Okay, so this back section goes on first. And then we wrap around it with some decorative elements, and then I'll show you what it looks like once I'm done with this bag. Also, just chatted with my older brother. It's been a while, and really fun to chat with him. He's in North Carolina, and my younger brother is moving to North Carolina. Actually, just moved there, and he's back in town in San Antonio, just south of Austin. This weekend with his wife, who is in the military, and she is there just briefly for like a work type thing. So we're hoping that we get to see them this weekend, my younger brother. But it was good to chat with the older brother, and catch up and hear about their move. They've been there for 6 months, so, things have kind of shifted a lot for them, and it's been a lot of, like, unpacking and getting settled and getting their kids used to the school systems and all that kinda stuff, so, I'm excited to eventually go and visit them. North Carolina is a beautiful state, um, and I used to go a few times when I lived in South Carolina for graduate school, um, but didn't really spend a ton of time, unless it was like for a specific reason. Like I remember going up there for a movie with a friend, and to like a specific mall. I remember going up there for to go out one evening, out to some clubs, which was a lot of fun back in my younger days. And just trying to think, there's other. Oh, I had to go for like a class project where we had to go to a different university nearby and interview them about how they do specific things that we were studying. And so that was really fun. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to like go out in the mountains or on the beach there. I experienced the beach in South Carolina, but not in North Carolina. So hopefully we'll get a chance to go sometime, maybe soon. I don't know, or not soon, but like sometime this year. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, both of them lived in Colorado, where I spent most of my life growing up, and they both moved away at the exact same time. It was like, oh man, now we have no family living in Colorado anymore, and that still feels like home to me. So it's kind of weird to experience it where they're not there. Let's see. Not yet. You're going to a flea market secondhand event on Saturday and hoping to find the Force Awakens there. Nice. Okay. Good luck. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for sure. I'm excited once you do watch it. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. And yeah, just if you hate it, I also want to know those things. So be honest with us about what your take is on it. I think sometimes people get really nervous about like, can I say I didn't like it if everybody else seems to love it? For Star Wars or for anything in life, right? So yeah, keep us posted on your journey. This is fun. All right, this is fun. It's like creating a whole bunch of sand everywhere around him on the base. I thought it was going to be a much more like rounded or sculptural base, but that is not the case. So, um, and then we have some gold pieces, and these are going. Oh, okay. So now we're going to fill in this gap right here, right at his crotch. So that way he looks a little bit more finished, and we're not seeing his innards showing up. Although we will see like the wraparound of all the stickers that have the like wires and stuff, of course. So nice. Awesome. Thanks for keeping us updated for sure. So I'm very invested now in your in your experience with this. All right. So it's nice that we get in this set. I say this, but like I'm never gonna part this one out. But we are getting quite a few great gold pieces, pearl gold in particular, uh, and those would come in handy for someone who's wanting to do a mock where they needed more of those pieces. But yeah, I would hesitate to part these out. So especially with the price of Star Wars sets, I don't know that that's the most cost efficient way to get the pieces, but you know. All right. So we've got a crotch for him now, which is nice that he's covered up. And then we have the base. As you can see, lots of like sand type details there. So let me tilt this down just a tad and scoot it back just a little bit more. Nope. Here we go. All right, and then I will scoot him back. Hey, now you can see him. Okay, let's move on to bag 7. Still waiting on the approval of the updated Tinkaton build, but I just went ahead and posted it in case they end up rejecting it again. I saw that you posted it on Instagram. Thank you for sharing that there because I wanted to see all the pictures and things. I think you did a great job on your build, by the way. I I haven't posted mine yet because I was waiting to see if I would redo it or not. And I'm not sure yet. It really depends on once I'm done with this live stream, if I have the energy to try, because it would be all digital today. So, this evening. But regardless, soon I will post the completed pictures of both of my Pokemon cards I made. So I when I was giving the feedback to Lego about it too, I was like, I also fully own the fact that I didn't read everything effectively myself. So, you know, that is what it is. Let's see. Hi. Oh, hey, Los Bravos. Nice to see you. Welcome. Do I do Lego videos for a job? Kind of. So I have a wide range of things that I do professionally. I am a consultant, so I work with companies on some employee engagement related things and on leadership consulting. So that is a little bit of a part-time gig. I also am a Lego ambassador. So I'm a content creator for Lego, and I get sets to review and just share with y'all. And so through that, I get paid in the sense that they send me the Lego sets, but I don't get paid for that otherwise. But it sometimes results in some paid projects. So I got to do a really fun one with Wicked, where I designed some really fun Lego clothing for an influencer to wear on the Wicked red carpet. And that was a paid opportunity, which was really, really cool. And other times, like other companies will reach out to me to do some Lego collaborations with them as well. So kind of, it is one of many hats that I wear, which is fun. So right now, I'm not at the point where like anything is monetized per se. So these videos, I would love to get to a point where I, am able to get some kind of monetization for them and such, but that's not currently the setup. So continuing to do this though, because I really love it and enjoy it, which is fun. And for me, my role as a Lego ambassador is heavily focused on the community. So the building connections and friendships with people and building Lego together. So I have a wonderful group of builders that participate in a monthly build challenge I run. And that would be a big part of kind of where I focus my attention. So a lot of times, like with my reviews, I'll do live streams where I show the builds as I'm going and talk about them. But also, I like to focus my reviews on what I'm learning from the builds. So it's less about what the value of it is. Everybody can read what the prices are. And I think arguably a lot of people think, and I agree, that Lego can be too expensive sometimes, right? So it's less about that, and it's more about here's what I learned from the Lego designers on this build. And then sometimes that feeds into my build challenges. So here's, as an example, this month we are building a round sphere. So I taught how to build that sphere, and then thinking about how you could build that into like the base of a character, or maybe how to put it as the moon in the background or something like that. And one example is for mine, I used that concept, but I modified it quite a bit for my Pokemon build. So Rowlett here uses the tutorial, or the instructions I gave in the tutorial to create that type of rounded effect for this adorable little owl. so, so yes. And welcome to the channel. It's good to see you. I always love connecting with new friends and um, getting to know new builders, new to me potentially. So if you want to share more about yourself, let us know more about yourself. I do stream typically weekly on Wednesdays, and then some weeks I'll do more than that. So like this week I also did Monday because it was May the 4th. So I was doing both May the 4th and Revenge of the 6th. So nice. Victor, I agree. I felt like it was a full art. There's stuff popping out from it, but I think what they saw with it is they saw um, I wonder if the fact that the bottom part of it was solid green made them think it wasn't full art. So some of the feedback I got was it's not full art, which I kind of disagreed with, but I was like, that's a little bit subjective, so I can work on improving on that. But the biggest piece of feedback I got is this is the wrong dimensions, which I know, and would have to rebuild in a much bigger way. So to show you, because I did get a start on this. Let me see if I can find it. Where did I put it? Is it over here? Oh, I think it's behind the computer. Here it is. So I started gathering parts to see if I could rebuild it in a large scale, which, spoiler alert, I can't with the parts I have. But this is the scale of what the card should be. And just to show you side by side, this is what I built. So it's about a fourth of the size. It's a little larger than a fourth of the size for that contest. So We'll see. I was starting to work on what would be the backdrop behind Rowlett, and yeah, ended up kind of abandoning that and thinking I'm not going to have the parts at home and all the colors I need for that. So I'll have to do digital if I want to. So the moon in the background, that's me. Yes, it is. I love it. I saw your build. I haven't commented on it yet. I like to wait to comment on them because I like to make sure that I share them to my stories and comment at the same time so don't forget. And there have been a few that have already been submitted, which is really fun. So my plan is just the round sphere for the Disney Habitat Challenge. Awesome. I love seeing when people combine it with another challenge, which is really fun. I did a colorful version also, physical of the build. And when I was doing the frame, I was like, damn, it's huge. Yes, right? These are really, really large builds for this Pokemon challenge. And I'm excited to see what gets approved for the next round of voting. So the way this challenge works is Lego Idea staff will narrow it down to 5, I think. And then from there, they will pick or the fan vote will pick the winner. That's my understanding of it, I think. So yeah. Anyway, it was regardless of the fact that mine, didn't meet all the standards and all that kind of stuff, and I learned some of those standards later. I am still glad I did it for sure, and had so much fun building it, and it makes me want to build even more of them. So these challenges on Lego Ideas, they're always great and a good opportunity to connect or to flex your skills. So yeah, good stuff. Did anyone else in the chat end up building and submitting one, or even like working on part of one? Where's the piece? Here we go. Philip, last night. Oh, I can talk about his cool project that he did. Let me talk about the project first, and then I'll tell you what he did last night. So, Philip had gone to LA for that very quick work trip, and it was actually to be there during the filming of what was released yesterday, and that was the ad piece. It's like a piece of social media content, so a real YouTube video and a TikTok video as well, and it's talking about their new collaboration with Fox One for FIFA for the World Cup, and it's so cool. So what they are doing is they've partnered with them, where Fox, since they will be airing and showing the World Cup, is hiring one person to be what they're calling the Chief World Cup Officer or Watcher. I think the Chief World Cup Watcher. And this person will get paid $50,000 to watch every single game of the World Cup inside a glass office in Times Square. And their job then will be to produce content about the World Cup and share the excitement and all the fun that comes with it. And they'll bring in some different celebrities and people to come and chat with the person in the glass box over the course of the games and everything. And it's just so fun and so interesting and so different. It's like my husband's job is so cool. And I'm so proud of him. He did a great job with the work that he did, kind of behind the scenes with all of it. And the final video is outstanding. So definitely check it out. I shared it in my stories on Instagram, so you can be able to see it there. Or if you follow my husband on Instagram, he shared it to his as well. And if you liked it, send him a direct message and say, hey, this is really cool. Justin said to tell you that, or actually don't even tell him that. Just tell him that you saw this and thought it was really cool. Because I think he'll love hearing that from y'all. So yeah, it was such a neat project for him to get to work on. So we knew that he was going to be able to work on this really neat project, and it was top secret until they could finally announce it. And so when I requested my last wave of requests for Lego parts or Lego sets, I requested the Star Wars logo for me to use for Star Wars Day, which we did on Monday. And then I also requested the FIFA trophy for Philip, and he and I are going to build it together for some fun Lego content, and then also he's going to take it with him and do some fun Lego minifigure content with it during the World Cup, and he'll actually be able to go to New York for part of it too. So I might get to go, fingers crossed, not to the World Cup, but to New York with him during part of his work trip. And I would love to so that we can go see a show and have fun. And I also just want to see this really interesting collaboration they have come to life. So it's really, really fun. They just announced it yesterday. It just officially shared yesterday. Okay, we are building. I'm guessing the next step is this torso. So these are going to be the arm pieces that connect to arms on the left and right, of course. And then this will be where the head connects to. Nice structure with lots of Technic and, or not Technic, well, a little bit of Technic, but lots of snot building techniques to really reinforce the structure and make sure it's super strong. So yeah. So, what are you all building lately? Curious on if you've been building anything fun, whether a Lego set or a Lego MOC. And what June 1 sets are you excited about? There have been so many reveals lately. Excuse me. June is always a huge wave of new sets for Lego. So there's a lot coming out. I, for one, am very excited about a set that was finally revealed yesterday, and it is the architecture set for the Big Apple for New York. So really incredible build. We got to see this one at Fan Media Days. It got revealed, and it's just stunning. And the fun thing is, that was the one they chose to show us there. They didn't show us the Paris one, and so now getting to see two new architecture styles or builds in this new type of style makes me very excited about the future of Lego architecture sets. I think that they're all going to be really, really great. So yeah, that one is one I'm very excited about. And there's a number of really great Disney builds that are sculpted builds that I think are going to be a lot of fun. I know last time we talked briefly about the Animal Crossing sculpted build that I'm so excited for. And we didn't talk about this, but the Fortnite sets I'm actually really looking forward to as well. So I will be getting for review some of the Disney ones and the Fortnite ones, which I'm thrilled for. And we also have the Jurassic Park Triceratops coming. So really, really looking forward to all of the Lego fun that we get to have in our house soon. And we still have to finish the Jeep. So we've got some Jurassic Park to watch, and we still need to finish Shrek. So I decided to hold off on finishing Shrek until Philip could do it with me because I wanted him to experience some of the build. And also, he and I had talked about how he loved Shrek 2, maybe even better than Shrek 1. And so I had watched Shrek 1 while he was in LA and I was building it and got through Donkey, but wanted to watch Shrek 2 as I continued to build it. And so I said I'd wait until he can watch it with me. So that'll be done soon. Let's see. What do we have? Sculpted buildable figures. Yes, they are gorgeous. There are so many really, really cool ones. Though the ones I was like most excited about, well, Pua, I'm excited about. I think that'll be great. And I'm glad we're getting another Stitch, although I don't know that that was necessary because we already have a big Stitch, but he's cute. Plus, I love that he has the guitar and the hula skirt and the little doll with him. But the one I was really excited about is the Kokomora. Like they're just adorable. And then if you are a Fortnite player and are familiar with the Tomato Head logo and everything, I'm really excited for that one too. I think that'll be super cute. So I saw the designer posted a little bit about it. The other day too, and that was really fun. I love getting to see the designers get to share, like, this is what I've been working on for so long. Like, that's just so cool. Their jobs are amazing, y'all. Let's see, what else do we have in the chat? My plan is just, oh, I already got that one. Let's see. Here we go. I'm planning on building a sustainable house. Will be expanded into a village later. Awesome. Inspired by the solar punk movement. Oh, cool. So far, I've only built small pieces of it, but I might continue on the weekend. That's really cool. I hadn't heard of the solar punk movement, but it makes sense. Or I hadn't heard of that phrase, but I understand the concept with steampunk and solar punk. Like easy to consider what that would be, and that's really cool. The Rage Cave will populate my current Fortnite minifigs. I mean, I'm thrilled. I can't wait for that one. And it's a beautiful sculpted head for that cave too. Like, it's gonna be fun. Same. The Fortnite ones, I'm very excited. Right, Victor? Like, just really cool. So, looking forward to the Toyota Supra MK4. Nice. That's one I have no clue about. I didn't even know it was revealed. I the vehicles I often miss out on and don't really see. So, but some of the vehicles that I've gotten to build have been some of my favorite builds. And I have a couple vehicle builds that are in my backlog that I've been waiting on for a rainy day, and I need to just do them soon. But one of them is the VW Bug, the blue one. I really love Volkswagens, and just always had an affinity for them, and I didn't buy the Volkswagen, the VW Bug when it first came out because I was like, I don't need this, and I didn't necessarily have the funds for it and whatever. So I was like, it's fine. I don't need to, to have this. And then I, oops, I skipped a step. Here we go. And then I bought a Volkswagen, and it's not a Bug, but it's a Volkswagen car, and it or a what do you call it? A Volkswagen um, vehicle. I can't think of the word for it right now. SUV, more or less, like a small SUV, kind of a mini one from them. And so when I did, I bought the VW Bug from Bricks and Minifigs because I was like, I want to have this now. I feel like I can say I drive a Volkswagen now, so it's fine for me to have a tribute to one in our house. But that's another one that is in the backlog that I'm just like someday needing to build. So I need to do like a backlog week and just build through the backlog. That would be fun. Let's see. Stitch's teeth look scary. Oh, I'll have to look. I haven't taken a close look. Um, Fast and Furious car. Oh, cool. Okay, thank you for sharing more detail on that. Getting it because it's a ride vehicle for Hollywood Drift. Of course you are. That makes perfect sense, and I love that. There's that other connection for you of it being a vehicle that is used in the ride. It's fun that the reason that you're getting it has more to do with the theme park than it does to do with the movie, right? Or the racing aspect of it, possibly. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't like both, but I love that that's part of your motivation for wanting that set, because I love how for each person, there's different things that appeal to them that like make you interested in or want something, and it's just so fun to see kind of what comes from or what drives kind of our interest in some of the different sets. So, solar punk is basically the opposite of cyberpunk. So, you live sustainably, generate your electricity with renewables, and don't destroy the environment. And technology assists you in achieving that. Okay, JJ, I want to live there. That's awesome. And that's such a fun concept for a build. I actually think so. Our Lug did a steampunk collaboration, and I didn't get to participate in it because I just didn't have the time. They did it last year, and it was during the window when we had Lego Masters airing and everything. So I was like, I'm not going to focus on that because I know that I won't put the effort into it that I want to. But it was so good, and it was so fun to see it all together at the conventions. And I think solar punk would be a wonderful theme for us to try as a lug as well. So I'll have to mention that and see if people know about the concept and or have any interest in it because I think that'd be a really fun collab. So I do love to see when you go to a convention when lots of builders collab together and have like a much larger display when it's all put together. I have done collaborative builds, but only with my lug, not with people from elsewhere all that much, except for Kate's really, really fun collaborative mosaic that we did together, and that was such a treat, and was really an interesting build process and a really fun result overall. So if you didn't see it, you definitely should check it out. It was on display in 2023, I think. Um, so, so yeah, I think it was 2023. No, it might have been 2024 actually. Let's see. Now I just need the Mazda. Yep, if you're filling out all the cars for the ride as well as the movies. Same reason I'm also getting the Shrek brick heads. Oh, yay, fun. The brick heads are so cute, and I am so excited for it just because of the gingerbread. That's my favorite character, as stupid as it is. Yes, I'd love to see what other people come up with. Agreed. We need more vehicles from movies. I really enjoyed the Back to the Future build. Yes. And Speed Champion small one. Oh, gotcha. So we have two of the Back to the Future builds. We have the original Lego Ideas one, and then which is a little bit about the scale of Speed Champions, but slightly different. And then we have the larger one, and I bought that one for Philip for his birthday or Christmas or for something. It might have been an anniversary. We celebrate too many things here, and so because of that, there's always a gift and always a need for another gift. But he has both in his office, and they were so good. And it was like right after he finished the big one that then they announced the Speed Champions one, and we were like, well, I don't know that we need that one per se, but it'd be fun to have. So we don't have it yet. But all right, more wires, more torso. When is the Lego Masters new season coming out? I want to know. I have no idea. They don't share anything with us as past contestants, just like as current contestants, they didn't share anything with us. So we found out like very much at the last minute that like, oh hey, by the way, in a couple weeks we're actually going to share information about your season, and we're like, we've been waiting for a year and a half, and that's all you tell us. So yeah, hopefully soon. If they go with the same timing as last year, then the announcement would be right around the corner, because I want to say this is the week that the announcement officially came out. Actually, let me check my phone to see. I wanted to look at the like your stories from a year ago today, you know, when, in that feature in Instagram, because I wanted to make sure that I caught when it was. Now it's showing me the ones from May the 4th. That's weird. Let me close out the app and reopen. Try one more time. I also don't like the number of steps that you have to go through to get to it. Okay, a year ago, I had shared my Wicked build, so not really sure why I would have shared that a year ago. Oh, Brick Slopes, Colorado. Okay. I think I just shared a Brick Slopes, Colorado follow-up post. So it was right after Brick Slopes that they officially announced, and I want to say it was May 7th. And so that would be tomorrow. We'll see. It might be May 8th. But that means very soon they'll be announcing ours. So yeah, Brandon, you can ask Fox or Endemol and I will tell you they will not tell you. They keep their lips sealed with that stuff. Even with those of us that like, I would be a huge proponent of making sure people watch and encouraging people to get it on their radar and all that kind of stuff. But they don't let us know. So we will see. We shall see. But the other build that I am going to do today, after we're done with C-3PO, is a car, which is not my normal build style. But Lego had sent me the Speed Champions F1 cars. I got two of them. One was the F1 Academy car, which I did build previously, I think the week of the Pokemon Week. And I shared with you how I took a piece from it and made my Pikachu, which is right here behind me. But I didn't end up building the other vehicle yet, which is this one. So this is the Audi Revolut F1 Team R26. And I'm very excited to build it today. And the reason I'm excited to build it is because I was texting my friend who is a producer on Lego Masters. Speaking of which, closing all the loops for you here, um, recently, and had it was just about like something completely unrelated to Lego Masters, but we were texting back and forth a little bit, and he shared that he worked on a really cool documentary um, from Lego, and said you should watch it. And we watched it last night, and it's really cool. And I think you should watch it as well. It is, oh my goodness, the name escapes me. Let me see if I can pull up the name real quick. But it is about how Lego built and designed the large scale vehicles that were used, that were driven during the driver parade in Miami, in 2025. 20, I think, yeah, last year. So let me find the text. Just find the name of the thing. Bricks on Track, building the Lego F1 Drivers Parade. It was so cool, so cool, and definitely worth watching. It was fascinating to see the whole process of getting all 10 cars built and ready to go, and the drama that comes from like doing a project at that scale, and like having to deal with it possibly not working out and all that kind of stuff. Like it was a really great um, documentary. So definitely check it out. Highly recommend. But it got me excited about F1 again, and I was like, you know what? I need to build that other car. Let's do it this week because I think I'll be finished with C-3PO relatively quickly. So, all right, for this next portion, we have a printed part. Alert! Alert! There's a printed part. I think this is going to be on his chest. So if you're waiting for new episodes, the current seasons are streaming on Hulu. Yes. And everybody should watch season 5 if you haven't yet. I would love for you to support our season. It'd be fun to hear your thoughts on it and answer any questions you have about it. It's so much fun. Also free on Tubi alongside the Australian and UK versions. Yes. Tubi is also where you can find this documentary. It's 48 minutes long, so not too bad at all, and very doable in an evening, and just fascinating. It was so interesting. So as Lego fans, I think you'd really enjoy it. If you're a Lego fan and a race car fan or F1 fan, you'd enjoy it even more. It was just really cool. So I've been meaning to actually to message Jean, because she was able to be there for it and just say, oh my gosh, how cool. Because I know when she was there before, I was like, how neat, what a neat experience. But we didn't really chat much about it. And it just like, I just thought again, like how neat that she got to experience that in person. So, so yeah. And then to echo what Brandon was saying, please watch Lego Masters, both our seasons past and any future ones. And then also, I do encourage you to watch the Australia version, and New Zealand version. We have watched most of them. I think New Zealand is the one that we need to catch up on. I've seen like the first couple of episodes, but didn't end up finishing it. And so I do need to go back and continue. But the Australian ones, we've watched almost all of them. There's 2 seasons, I think, that aren't on there, but you can watch all the other ones, and they're so fun. And it's actually been really fun because as I watch them now, I have been messaging the people that are on the show on Instagram and connecting with them, and it was fun when I was watching them before they knew I was on the show. In the US, because I wasn't able to say anything about it. So instead, I was like, hi, I'm just a fangirl. And I want you to know I love your show. And your build was so cool tonight and whatnot. And then fast forward to them finding out I was on the US version, that opened up some additional conversations, which has been a lot of fun too. So definitely worth your while to watch. So nice shout out there, Brandon. And yes, I'm just gonna keep self-promoting just that our season was so fun. And it's less about me and more about this. It was a group of incredible builders that are incredible people and have great personalities and so much talent. And we just had a blast. So, one thing I will say about our season is you'll notice that our builds we had less time for the builds than past seasons. And so that adds some extra drama and excitement. and it also adds just some different styles of building that you'll see that come through when you're more rushed for time. So it resulted in a really fun added challenge that we got to experience. So check it out. There was also the Australia versus the World Lego Masters, which was fun. Yes. And don't tell anybody, but I've seen it. We're not allowed to promote where you can see these things because you should see them through the right places, right? But I will say that there's something called a VPN where you can use that to help you get access to see different things. And so that's one way to watch if it's not showing in your country yet. Or you can be patient until it does show in your country. But like, I don't know if the US seasons will ever show outside the US, or how many of them will, if any. So um, I am a proponent of people finding creative ways to watch it. I just don't have any links I can share with anybody. Um, Here it is. Lots of gold, lots of pearl gold. I've watched the episode where Michelle gets eliminated like 10 times. Haha, I really liked her telenovela exit, even though it was really sad to see her leave. Don't tell her I said that. I won't tell her you said that, but I will tell you she is a delightful human. We have become good friends because of the show, which is so fun. And it's just been great to get to know her better. She's really, really wonderful. And so, yeah, definitely recommend that you find a way to meet her someday and say hello and tell her how much you loved her on the show. She also runs a Spanish language Lego ambassador community, which is really fun. And it's fun because I've been trying to relearn Spanish. I never learned it well enough to communicate super effectively, but I've been trying to relearn it because I want to communicate with the people here in our neighborhood and in North Austin, where a lot of people speak Spanish. And I feel bad that they're the ones always accommodating me when I could also be doing the work to learn their language too and to connect with them. So as I've been relearning it, I've been telling her it's really fun to watch your content because it forces me to kind of listen and pay attention and try to master the language a little bit better. So thank you for that, which is fun. So, but she is a sweetheart and she's super talented and so funny and so friendly. So yay. It's one of the things I've loved about that whole experience is the community you make. The people who I've gotten to know as a result of being on the show. It's just been so fun. Like so many great humans. And they were so welcoming. Everybody from past seasons were all so welcoming and so kind. Wanted to know all the juicy details of what our experience was like and how it was different than theirs and all that kind of stuff. And they were all so supportive of our season and encouraged people to watch. And I just thought, like, this is how it should be. Like, we should all be championing each other and supporting each other and, just welcoming each other in. Like, it really is a wonderful community of people. So, I've heard of the VPN. The company I work for has offices in the States, one in Austin, actually. Oh, fun. And somehow it gave me access to Lego Masters USA. That's really cool. Sometime, if you're comfortable, I'd love to know what company you work for. If you want to share it, which you can also DM me. But I'm curious to know because we have so many big companies here in Austin that have global presence. And yeah, I'm curious if maybe some of my friends work with you, which is fun. So this is such a small world, y'all. Like, it really, really is. There are so many, oh, fun, another printed part. There are so many wonderful people around the globe that, like, the more that you experience life, the more you're like, wow, we are all connected in ways that, maybe you never really thought about. So, um, okay, here's the other printed part. That's really cool. I love that that one's printed and this one up here, but especially this one in the circle because it's so perfectly, well, it's mostly perfectly centered. It's not exactly perfect, but it is well placed, which is good. And then we've got the technicals here that are going to slide on here, and that allows this to be at a slight angle. Actually, it allows it to completely lean forward. I don't know if that's intentional or not. We'll see. But it does give, you can see like a little bit of a curve, which is really, really satisfying. So let's see. All right, and then we're going to lock it in place with these pins. which are going to go here and here. Yesterday also, we spent time with my in-laws and it was a lot of fun. We went to Manuel's, which is a delicious restaurant in Austin, Tex-Mex restaurant. And Philip and I had margaritas and I had a delicious chicken salad that was so good. And yeah, it was nice to see them. I really love living close enough that we're able to connect with them in person. And it's exciting that while my family moved away from Colorado, his family is some are in Texas and some are moving back to Texas. And that means we'll be close to family again, which is good. I just talking with my brother every time, it just makes me sad that we live so far away because I love him and his family so much. Just wonderful, wonderful people. So nice that we've got some family in town now. Texas has never really felt like home to me. Austin does for sure. But you know, I've lived here for quite some time now. It's the longest I've lived in one place since growing up. So it definitely is home. But there's still elements of it that I'm like, yeah, this isn't really fully my home. So it's yeah, having family close by helps for sure. Okay. So I am filling in details on the front. How does that work? Let me figure out how it works first, and then I'll show you. I think I did this wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. Let's try this again. So that goes like that. Oh, there we go. Okay. And that's going to go. Ah, okay. So add this detail. So what I'm adding is this piece here. I'm adding the same on this side and just had to build them kind of mirror image of each other. So this will go, let's see if I can do it well. This is going to fill in this gap here, like so. Yeah, that looks good. I like it. Let's see. I work for the company called Jeppesen Foreflight. Foreflight? Is there an L in that? I can't see. My screen is too far away. I think it's Foreflight. I feel like I've seen Jeppesen written somewhere. Perhaps I've seen their logo. I'm not sure. But yeah, since I had Lego Masters on the brain just because it's been almost a year since they officially announced our season, and it's wild to me that all that time has passed. And then also having talked with one of the producers this week about just life and whatever, it's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I or no, wait, what was I saying? Oh, anyway, I had Lego Masters on the brain, so I am drinking out of my Atlanta mug. To remember my time fondly on that show and how much fun it was. So I was thinking of doing a rewatch of our season when it comes out. Or when it comes to a year from when it was released, just for the fun of it, because I want to relive that experience and have fun with it too, and just see if anybody wants to rewatch it with me. So if that's something you'd like to do, we'll have to figure out how to do that, but I think that'd be a lot of fun. So this is so fun to see, like, you know how there's the opening where we see all the different bits on the inside. I like that we're using these Lego sloped plates to create some interesting shapes that create that opening. So, and it feels really natural as it's coming together, which is nice. Great sculpting here by the Lego designers. And I also like when they use bits of the regular, like shiny gold. I can't remember what we call that, but there's the pearl gold, which is this style. There's the like iridescent, or not iridescent, but like the shiny gold ones. And then they also use dark tan mixed in, and it adds some depth in a way that I don't think I would have thought to do initially, but I think works really, really well for these. So metallic gold, thank you. Yes, that's the name of these fun ones. So that's also the metallic silver, and then the light bluish gray that we have down here below. They use the same kind of concepts to emphasize that. I think if the entire thing were made all metallic, it actually wouldn't be as sleek and cool as people think it would, because you wouldn't notice so much of the detail and dimension. I think a lot of that would fade, because it would all be like one neutral tone. So I think that's something that Lego does a really good job with their design on. All right, sticker central here. We've got some more stickers for the middle, so you're gonna have to bear with me as I put these on. Got 4 stickers, and we're putting them on, 2 on this and 2 on the other one, just like it. So hang tight while I do this. Listen to Penny bark in the background, if you will. Right, so 6 and 7 go together. Okay, so we'll do that first. Okay, got 6 on. Let's move on to 7. All right, so here's one set that's going to go inside here, and that 6 and 7 is going to go on this side, and it's going to go, I think, oh, all the way up. Is that right? Yeah, so to show you, while I put on the other sticker, that's where it kind of went on the side to create that front, or the curve all the way around the front of the wires. So let me get the next 2 stickers on. It's stickers 4 and 5. Okay, and one more. I had to do a bunch of stickers Monday as well, because I did a couple of other Star Wars sets that were in the backlog. I did one, and Philip did the other. I made him do the I made him do the mech of Darth Maul, which I bought because it was on clearance and I wanted the Darth Maul minifigure. I didn't really buy it because I wanted the mech per se. And he's never built one of those mechs, and I built probably 10 at this point. And he was not very impressed. He was like, "What is this?" It's like, "It's a mech. It's fun." But he didn't like it so much. But now we have Darth Maul. And then I was building one from Ahsoka, and it has a ton of stickers. It's got a great moving platform that spins, so you can have like fight sequences and such. So it's actually pretty cool. But tons of stickers that are not really repurposable, I don't think, to other things. So I was a little like partway through putting all the stickers on, I was like, maybe I should have blocked these off and just use these black square tiles for something else. Because I will probably part both sets out. That one I got from my lug for just participating throughout the year. We give like prizes for people based on participation throughout the year and such. And so it was one that I was like, eventually I need to build this, but I wanted it because it came with Ahsoka and some of the other characters from that series that I didn't have yet. So Thrawn, I think, is that right? Am I making that up? I don't think that's his name. I think I might have that one wrong, but anyway. Oh, so what Philip did last night was he built the messy Lego set. So he, as a part of going to that event, or the filming and everything at Fox, they gifted him that set, which was so sweet of them. He didn't know that was going to happen. And so he built it yesterday in honor of the fact that the thing just finally released and was shared with the world, this huge project that he's been working on for so long. So it's fun. I can't wait to see kind of where this project continues to go for them. It's a really interesting one. Indeed is a great company. They do really, really cool work. And historically, they have done a lot of work related to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and I really value that, and so does Philip. And so that was a big reason why he wanted to work for them in the first place. And so, yeah, we're excited to see where this continues to go with this project and how it kind of finishes up as well. So I'm excited to see who they hire. And Indeed's not doing the hiring. It's the hiring will actually come from Fox because it's their job that they're posting and such. So Philip won't be involved in that process at all. So if any of you are wanting the job and wanting an in, he's not your in. So yeah, not at all. All right. So there now we have the sides in, which is good. So and then I think we're probably going to cover up. Yep, we are cover up this with these. And it'll look super smooth and sleek. Yay! All right, the torso looks pretty good. Got all those stickers on. We have 2 stickers left, and these are going to be the ones that are in his palms. So I'll get those on in a little bit. Probably the one that shows highlights of Messi's life or the wall mural set. It's the one that shows highlights of his life. It's really cool. Woot, what did I miss about the, what job? Oh, so Philip is working with, so he works for Indeed. And Indeed did a partnership with Fox One for the World Cup. And so they, Fox One is hiring somebody using Indeed's platform and technology. So that's where this partnership comes together. But they are hiring somebody to be the chief World Cup watcher. And that means this person will watch every single game of the World Cup inside a glass office in the middle of Times Square, New York, where people can see all around them and create social content about all the really fun things that they experienced with the World Cup games. And there'll be different like celebrities and probably like sports stars and stuff that'll come in to the glass cube throughout or glass office throughout the period of the World Cup to watch, and they're paying the person $50,000, which is really, really good and such an interesting opportunity. So it's a real job, and it's the people who are hiring for the position are Fox One. So if you want to apply, go for it. I mean, you should throw your name in the hat if it's of interest to you for sure. If you know people who are interested, what they want people to do is go to Indeed and update their profile, which means like adding your resume and information about you. And then through Indeed, they will actually match people with the job and encourage people to apply. So it'll send people that. But then separately, people can also find the job and apply directly on their own. But they wanted to show how their platform can also help source and find some really great candidates for it. So it's a neat partnership and just a really cool opportunity. The person who gets this job, I'm sure, will be able to go on to do other really cool broadcast things or personality related things like being a host of an event or activity or show or whatever. So it'll be really fun to see where this goes. So. But what Philip worked on was kind of the advertising side of it that went into how do they promote this job opportunity and share it with people and make sure that people know about it and learn about Indeed as a result of it too, of course, because he works for Indeed. But the core is like get people to have awareness of this really cool thing. So he was in LA in last week so they could film with this amazing actress who's hysterical. We love her so much, and we've seen her in a lot of different shows and things, often as like a background character that has like some really fun moments with the characters. And she's been in a lot of shows lately. But her name's Kayla. No. What is her name? I forgot her name right now. I'll have to ask from Philip. But yeah, I hope they don't. I hope they choose someone who isn't an influencer yet. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what comes from this. And Philip has also said like that's where he and I were looking at like some of the things that people were posting about it yesterday. And he was like, I have no say in the hiring of this at all, but I really hope it's someone who, isn't your typical, like what you'd expect to see from this, but is someone who brings a new perspective and a new insight and whatnot. So it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens with it. So, but I'm so proud of Philip. He did such a good job with his work on it and very proud of everyone involved in it. It sounds like it's been a really wonderful collaborative experience to work together. And it's really neat to see people have work wins like that, where all of the pieces just kind of fall into place, not by happenstance, but by people's really hard work, right? So anyway, that's my little brag for my husband today. All right, we just attach this to go here. um, but yeah, I'm really curious to see kind of what happens with the hiring. So um, I have a friend who I thought would be perfect for it, and I reached out to her and talked with her about it, and she was so excited and interested. But then she's got a big thing at the exact same time, and she's like, "I can't do it." And I was like, "Well, bummer, but also, you know, I'm excited for her and what she is doing, so that's good." But yeah, I was like, "You'd be perfect for this," and she would. So, um, let's see. Okay, so now we're getting some medium nugget in here as well, um, which also works as a good complementary color with the gold. But I prefer the pearl gold with the dark tan, for like a distinction and for it to look a little bit different. I uh, typically don't like dark tan all that much, but I think it works well in this instance. So where's this piece? Here we go. Also, the reality too is with all of the golds, the pearlescent gold and also the metallic gold, I think those probably cost more for Lego to produce or are harder to produce. And so that's another reason why you don't always see a million pieces in every single color available. Some of them I think are a little bit more costly than others to produce. So, um, and I know the pearlescent colors in general, or the metallic colors in general, are definitely that way. All right. If you haven't watched the spot yet that I was talking about, the social media thing about the job, I definitely recommend you do. I posted it to my stories yesterday because I was just like, this is so fun. And I want to brag on Philip. But yeah, definitely check it out. So I think I've over promoted it at this point, but I'm just so proud of Philip. And it's just a really cool opportunity. So, so yeah, so he built the that set, the messy set yesterday. And it actually was a really cool build and had some amazing techniques in it. So it made me want to unbuild it and rebuild it, so I have that experience. I'll probably just look through the instructions instead, but yeah, it looked like a pretty neat um, build. Okay, I think I'm working on the head. I was wondering what this was going to become, but it's quite complicated and oh, okay. I missed a step. And the shaping is odd, but now that I've got it to a certain point, I'm like, oh, that must be the head. That makes more sense. Oh, and I see this printed part is the mouth. Okay. So waiting in my bin of parts, we've got this. That's fun. So let's see. I think the new Star Wars UCS should have more chromed in Sauron's helmet. Oh, yeah, interesting. You don't think it had enough, the new one that already exists, or do you mean like in the future when they make another one? With Sauron's helmet, I know that one's already out on shelves, isn't it? I know that it's already been announced, I think, but I think that one's already available to buy. Um, that was when we saw at Fan Media Days as well. It's interesting to me to think through. We did get to see a lot of really cool things at Fan Media Days, but there's also a lot that they didn't show us. And so I wonder how they pick what they choose to include versus what gets saved for another year or I mean saved for like a different type of reveal. So I was one of the reveals that, they didn't share with us, but that was excited to see when they teased it on Mario Day was, minifigs for Super Mario Brothers. I think that's gonna be so fun, to finally get them as minifigures. Just really cool characters, and it'll be nice to be able to add them to your builds in different ways. I know that for us, we always have like a really wonky winter village that is full of pop culture references, and so I'm excited to get them to add to our winter village. And I think I'm going to have to build. Actually, that'd be a really fun theme for the winter village this year, is to do Mario in general as a theme. Okay, I'm not missing it. I'm sure I'm just overlooking it, but a curved. Ah, here it is. Found it. Um, but yeah, that was one of the reveals that I was like, "Ooh, I'm excited for this." So, um, and honestly, the Animal Crossing buildable figs, just super excited for that for sure. They're gonna be so fun. They're adorable. Okay, something is not right here. What did I do wrong? Nothing. I did nothing wrong, actually. But there is a dog hair in the build, Penny. Okay, snap that on. Whoops, what fell? Oh, there we go. Is it just open down there? Let's see. Oh, yep, okay. All right, so we're getting the basic shape of his face. It's the perfect shape. They really did a good job with the sculpting here. And then here, the back of the head, which what always goes through my mind with that phrase or something that sounds like that is that stupid sketch from forever ago where it's like two people at a movie theater hitting on people in front of them and they kept saying the back of your head looks ridiculous. And honestly, it makes me think of my brother, my older brother, because he used to say that as a joke all the time. And I don't even really fully remember the sketch. It might have been a really bad sketch. I don't know. But like it's so silly how things like that are like permanently ingrained in your brain. You're like, why? Where did this come from? So yeah, those are going to be so cute. The Animal Crossing ones for sure. So we really are getting some really cool ones. So both are out. Mint the brand new Mandalorian ship. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about was the new one that came out. But I don't get the UCS ones just because our house is already jam packed full and we don't have the room for them. But I always want to build them for the build experience because they're so cool. And I just feel like you can learn so much from building at that scale. Especially after being on Lego Masters, I always want to build bigger and bigger and bigger, and you need practice to get to be able to do that. And so I like when sets kind of give you those experiences. And a lot of times you're not going to get sets that give you that type of experience yeah, from just like regular Lego because usually the bigger ones might be like minifig scale, but bigger, modulars and whatever, which is helpful for things like Lego Masters, but it's not the same thing as building like a really large character. So that's why I'm really keen on these sculpted build characters. So okay, I think we can see where the eyes are going. This is so cute. This is so fun. Just expert level sculpting here. Also, this reminds me, you have to stack 3 pearlescent or pearl gold plates to get a brick, and I don't understand, like, they must not have the ability to produce them as bricks. There are some parts that are a little bit thicker that are in pearl gold, so it seems like they could do it, but I wonder if there's any, like, quality control issues with that. Because every time I've ever built anything where I needed, like, a larger section of them, you always have to do, um stacked bricks. So, all right, getting more of the shaping there. It's coming together. Kind of looking creepy. Yay. I need to, so I think I told you I've been doing the big sort of all my stuff. that needs to be sorted and put up. But I need to get my Lego room in order so that I can have a tour of the Lego room and show you all, and also go back in there for streaming. But I have a Lego Master shelf in there, and that's where this guy's going to go. So while it would make sense for him to go with the Star Wars stuff, he'll probably go there first instead because I've got. Or because of the connection with our season, and yeah, I think eventually he'll move over to the Star Wars shelf, but I want to wait until I have a larger R2D2 to go with him when I move him there. So yeah, I need to get that all set up so that you all can see, and also so I can spend more time in there. I spend a lot of time in there building, but I try not to look around because it's such a mess. Really is a bit of a disaster, but gradually getting there. Just take some time. So, all right. So we're using an interesting clip technique for the front of the head. So you can see the general structure, which this is actually making me think of, was it Rocket Man? No, The Rocketeer. That's what I'm thinking of. That would be a really fun mock to see. I bet someone's done it before. I feel like that's one that people should have done by now. Are y'all familiar with The Rocketeer? I feel like it was huge when I was a kid. But okay, so that clip that we see, the blue clip there on the top, it's going to attach to this shiny metallic gold disc that goes on the front. And now he looks like a doctor. He's got that little doctor thing there. An old school doctor, right? Sure it'll come together more as we go, but that's funny. All right, now we get these fantastic parts. And these are pearlescent, or like pearl gold, which I love. And actually, they have like almost a different sheen to them than the pearl gold. Let me put the other one on and then I'll show you up close. These might be a different color altogether. Wow. Huh. Okay. Let me put all these pieces on around and then I'm going to show you because it's really different in terms of color. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm really loving this build. Oops. All right. So these last two on. Huh. Okay. All right. Oh, I did it backwards. That goes on the back side. I have to flip everything around. Let me do this real quick. Damn it. Wait. All of that is backwards from that part down? Oh man, I really missed some things. This is goes to show you, don't talk while you're building. Oh wait, can I just flip this whole thing around? Ooh. Well, that may have fixed it. Yay, that fixed it. Okay, cool. Okay, much better, much better. Wait, where does this go? Okay, so this makes more sense. I was like, what in the world? This is the back of the head. That makes a lot more sense now. Is that right? Let me just double check. Yep, that's the back of the head. So I just have that all flipped. So, okay, the back of the head goes like that. Okay, and then this is on the front. Okay. So now we've got, okay, here we go. Now we fixed it. So now we have the front of the head. Yeah, this is giving a little bit of the Rocketeer vibes without the like fin. So I want to show Philip. That's really fun. So I'm back, had to join a meeting. Welcome back, Victor. Good to see you. Let's see what else. How do you feel about the new Grogu build? I haven't looked at it too much, but we already have the buildable Grogu multiple times, actually. I have one that is set up for Christmas in his really cute holiday jumper that looks like a Santa suit. And then I have the one just kind of regular as is. So I haven't paid too much attention to it because I'm definitely not getting it. I don't think anyway. I don't really see a reason to for us. So, oh my gosh. This is so fun. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, and the shaping is really good. I don't know what tell me about this. Is there like is there a hole in the back of his head that like he plugs into or something? That might just be for the general shaping, but I don't know why that's there, and I need someone to explain it to me. So if you'll do that, that'd be great. Okay, now we get his neck in. Let's put all these pieces in to get that there. So we're using just a regular rod that goes in through there, and then we slide on two of these wheels, Technic wheels. How do you feel about the new Grogu build? Oh my gosh. Okay, are you ready for this? I don't know if you're ready. I don't think you're ready for this jelly. Y'all, he's so cute. Okay, this is really, really good. I love the sculpting on him. This is so good. I really do like the curve of his body. That's just solid. I don't think I've done like chef's kiss in real life ever. That feels weird, but that's fun. Okay, two more bags. Bags 10 and 11. I'm guessing they're going to give us two arms. I don't think there's much more to him other than that, so there might be more to this base, actually. I don't know. Let's see. But for sure, we've got some arms to build, so let's get to it so that he can actually use them. Also, I think it'd be really fun to build one of the arms in red, in dark red. Okay, he's got some minifigure wands, so it'll be interesting to see where that goes. I've got a mess to clean up down there. All right. So now it's one of those like build this 2 times steps. What other questions do y'all have about the new sets or opinions or thoughts on that? Anything that's coming out new and coming out soon? Yeah, this color is so different. So let me just show you. That's what I meant to show you. Look up close. It's very close, but it's also off a little bit. So these rounded ones on the corners here, take a look at that in comparison to the pearl gray that's like his cheeks. It's just almost more like a copper color, just a little different. So we're getting that also in this shape, like a wheel cover for a car. So yeah, just different. I don't know. I like it. I like the end result. It looks nice and shiny and sleek, but it is a slight different vibe to it. It almost looks a little bit more like planetary or space like. I don't know. It's really it almost looks like liquid. It's actually really pretty. Really pretty color up close. But definitely a little different than the pearl gray or pearl gold. One of my favorite questions to ask Philip is what song is in your head right now? Because I live where my brain constantly has a soundtrack on at all times. And it wasn't until I asked him that once and his answer was like, I don't have a song in my head. I was like, wait, what? That's not true. Like, how do you not have a song in your head? I always have a song in my head. And that's when I learned, no, that's specific to my weird brain. So I'm curious if any of you have a song in your head all the time or the vast majority of the time. And if so, if there's any songs that tend to be like regulars streamed in your head. I nonstop have a soundtrack playing, and it's just bizarre. Looking forward to the X Files Lego idea set. Yes, that is another beauty. Was that one approved? I think so, right? Um, but yes, that was another beautiful build. Um, Lego Ideas just knocks it out of the park, and I think so much of that is because they've opened up that creativity loop for builders and designers to create things that they love and to get the fan input on it. And I think that results in some really interesting um, builds that we get out of it. So love Lego Ideas as a platform in general, and um, love to see what comes from people's creativity. Okay. Are any of y'all F1 fans? Let's see. Yeah, I thought it was approved. Yes, I have that too at the moment. It's Back to You by Illenium. Illenium, gotcha. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I'm sure I know it. That sounds familiar, but it's not ringing a bell for me right now. Um, it's just wild to me that it's always like literally all the time. And when Philip said he didn't have a soundtrack in his head, I was like, I don't understand. That's not possible. Your brain can't work different than mine. What are you saying? I'm glad I'm not the only one. Thank you for sharing, JJ. Um, Sometimes it's influenced by, I heard the song on the radio or, that's my alarm getting up song or whatever. But usually it's like just completely random and I can't place how it got there. I'm sure something in my brain triggered it to start, whatever, or switch tracks, I guess is a better way to say that. Something got me to start listening in my head to something else, but, yeah, it's just odd to me. I've been thinking a lot lately about how, like, we all live our own lives, right? And we all have this one experience with life, which means that our normals and what we're used to differs from person to person. And so there are plenty of times that you do something every day that you think is normal, that's only normal for you, but not for everybody else, right? Or your experience in life is so specific to your experience in life. So I thought about this a lot when I was working in corporate and when I was working in education as well, because I had jobs that were, typically 9 to 5 ish. I was in a specific office setting during the week, Monday through Friday, and having to work on the weekends was more like an occasional thing, depending on the projects or programs we had running and that kind of stuff. And then I started working part time at the same time at some retail stores, and that's when I was like, oh yeah, the world works so differently depending on the type of job you have. That really dictates so much about your life. Here I am, filling in my weekends and evenings with retail work, and then there's other people who work a full-time retail job, and their week differs week to week, or their weekends are actually a Monday and Tuesday. And those are just simple examples of the differences that we have. But like you think about what people study and how that shapes the way that you think, and how that impacts then how you navigate life and what you see as truth and what you value and care about and what you focus on, and just it makes it so that no two experiences are the same, and I love that kind of stuff. I just find it fascinating to think about how different we all experience the world. So da da da, that's my story. And that was part of what I loved about working in diversity, equity, and inclusion, is just thinking so much around You know, your lived experiences are your lived experiences. They're not everybody's lived experiences. And so when someone says, "Oh, this isn't fair," or "I don't like this approach," or whatever, "it doesn't make sense to me," or "it doesn't help me," that's because you're looking at it through your lens, not necessarily through other people's lenses. And it's next to impossible for us to ever fully understand and see someone else's perspective. But you can have empathy in attempting to and trying to understand how someone might have a different life than you do, right? Um, and there's so much value in working with people with different backgrounds and experiences because they're going to solve problems in different ways and have different solutions. And that's so cool to me that, you know, the way that you were raised affects how you view money. And then that affects how you show up in the workplace and what you advocate for, and how you approach budgeting, right? Just all the different things. Okay, that's probably my rant for today. It's funny, like I never thought of myself as a ranter, and I don't think I am, but I just like to muse on things. So, okay, I'm seeing a chat, something in the chat. What did you say? Let's see. Get to a starting point. Many different songs lately. The Super Mario Coffin Dance song, because my son keeps playing it. Isn't it nuts how like those things? A lot of times it is, yeah. Oh well, I'm hearing it all the time because I'm hearing it from my kids or whatever. But yeah, also just like um, for me, it is seemingly random. I'm sure there's some explanation to where some of it comes from, but I think some of it is an ADHD brain thing for me. Um, I don't know for sure, but that wouldn't surprise me if it's connected to that in some way. It's just never silent in my brain. Oh shoot, I put these pieces on wrong. Let me fix these real quick. There we go. Get this one off. Okay. Now we've got it. Okay, so these are going to go up. Is that right? Nope, that's down. Is this one up? Here we go. All right, so we're building out part of the arms. And I did this twice, so I'm working on that as well. Let's see. Yes, I think I've heard about that from people I know with ADHD. Yeah, once I remember talking to my therapist about it and being like, "It's so interesting Philip doesn't experience this." And he was like, "It's not a surprise to me that you experience it. It's a common thing with people with ADHD." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I've not officially been diagnosed with ADHD, but I would say it's been something I've been exploring to better understand lately because so much of it tracks for and makes sense for how I experience the world. So it is something that I've considered. Like, do I want to go through and get an actual diagnosis of this, or is it something that I just understand for myself and that's all I need? Um, which I don't know yet what the answer would be with that, but fascinating just to understand the differences in ways that we process information and see the world and experience things. So a lot of the tips on how to be successful as a person with ADHD resonate very deeply with me. And so I've been putting some of those into practice too. And I find those to be really helpful. So that's where I'm like, yeah, all signs point to this. Wouldn't be a big surprise for me. And not something that I have any like strong feelings around needing a diagnosis per se, but also I don't have any strong feelings around like I have no embarrassment about it. It's just we all have different brains, and ours are all unique to the way that we experience life. So, um, and I would also say, just because you have a soundtrack in your head all the time doesn't mean you have ADHD either. So, all right, we're gonna put on the first parts of the arms. It looks like the bag 11 is gonna finish out the arms from the elbow down. Da, 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 da. I like the way he walks. For sure. So yes. Um, there's so much stigma too around um, any type of mental health stuff. And I think we've moved in the right direction with all of that to where there's less stigma associated with some things. But I appreciate how much more people have been talking about their experiences with mental health and whatnot, because I think it helps all of us to better understand just the differences in ways that people approach the world. Okay, we are getting some random parts that don't make sense to me, but I'm sure they will later. I put the minifigure wand here at the end, and with one of these like clips, and then one of these pieces that has the bar on the side, and this is going to go under here. Weirdly, I don't really understand why. So it goes there. And I wonder if that has anything to do with like how he holds his pose. I don't know. We'll find out soon enough because we only have one bag left. But I just don't get it, y'all. Just don't get it. Let's see. All right. He's got little spikes coming out of right here. Here. I don't get it. Spikes in his biceps. If that's something related to the character of C-3PO that I've never understood, then I feel kind of embarrassed, but I don't know what that would be. So I don't think it is like a character specific thing. I think it's more of a um, just thing about the build and maybe the stability of it. So we'll find out here in a minute. So that's the video. Yes, and luckily we have become a lot better diagnosing for those who need it help. Yes, exactly. When people complain about the large prevalence of people with ADHD just showing up out of nowhere, it's not actually true. There's not more people with it. There's just better diagnosis of it. And that's a good thing, I think. So, okay, we've got a torso. This is where I wasn't sure if we put all the pieces back in. Oh, we did not. Shoot. Okay. Dadgummit, I'm going to have to track them down. If you'll hold for just a moment, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the Lego room. Let's see. Am I on AirPods this time? I'm going to walk away and you tell me if you can hear me. Can you still hear me fine, or am I getting quieter as I walk away? I'm going to come back to the computer to see what you wrote. I'm just not sure. I think they're on my AirPods, but I can't really tell. Okay, I'll be right back. It's in the other room, I'm pretty sure. So for the holidays, we put together in our shadow box all of the different fun, silly minifigure scenes, and one of them is the droids at Christmas time. And I think that's where we have him hiding. Let me see if I can track down that one. We keep a lot of them built, and then we build new ones each year to swap out some new ones that are fun related to whatever happened throughout that year. But some of them we just keep built because we always want them out and about. Okay, these are all the Halloween ones. Where did I put the Christmassy ones? One more check in here, and then I'll abandon ship if I don't see it. Let's see. Well, okay. Let's see. Do not see it. So I was wrong. It's not back here. And there's no point in trying to find it right now while I'm live streaming. So we are just going to have to go without a C-3PO minifigure. Okay, good. I'm glad you hear me. Okay, your pearl gold Santa Claus. Oh, yes, I should go get my pearl gold Santa and he can be in this instead. Actually, let me check one other place. I'm going to look in the shadow box and see if maybe for some reason we didn't pack up that Christmas one. Yes! Okay, I'm glad I did. I'm going to bring it over and show you. So, we have a shadow box at the front of our house, and it holds these little tiny scenes perfectly. So it is a shadow box that is designed for shot glasses. And when you turn it sideways, it fits in each little window a 6 by 12 base plate perfectly, which is nuts. And then this tall. So 5 bricks and 1 plate tall. So here's the little scene that we have. The printed torso, I think I got from Bricks and Minifigs. But these are the droids at Christmas time. And then all the other ones are droids that I've gotten over the years from different Lego sets, and some from the Lego Star Wars Advent calendars. But you can see he's got that silver leg. So this is the right one. I'm gonna take him apart. Sorry, buddy. We'll leave the torso in here for next year. I didn't realize that we haven't switched out the ones in our shadow box yet from Christmas. So it's good to know. They've just been celebrating Christmas all year. And that's okay. All right. Yeah, I really love this little scene. It's been a fun one to have up. I really enjoyed, I was super proud of my Greebling, and this was made like 6 years ago. So, I'm still proud of it. I think I did a decent job, but it's a little different than I probably could do a better job now than then. All right, look at him. He's so cute. I love the little leg, the silver leg. I think that's perfect. So I'm going to put him here in front of his taller doppelganger. Not even doppelganger, because it is him, I guess. Okay, we'll move that back. We'll put this little mini scene over here. We get the printed card, of course, and it says, Class Protocol Droid, Creator Anakin Skywalker, Height 1.77 meters, Affiliations Galactic Republic, Rebel Alliance, and the Resistance. Equipment Tranlang 3 communication module, and capabilities fluent in over 6 million forms of communication. C-3PO. That's fun. All right, let's build some arms and get this guy finished for display. And figure out why he has those weird pokey things coming out of his arm. I think I'm going to be building 2 arms that are identical, so I'm going to try and do the build it reverse as I build. So do the mirror image thing and see if that ends up working out for me. If it doesn't, I will cry. Actually, I will just unbuild and rebuild, and that will be fine. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we got this part started. I'm going to repeat that going the other way. Okay. Have any of you gotten the new buildable droids? So this one, or the R2D2, or the BB-8 that came out this year? I really want both of those, but the BB-8, there's a piece of me that's like, don't get it, because you already have the OG BB-8 buildable fig, and he's so cool. And I don't need to replace him per se, but I could replace him with the new one, which would be scaled to these 3, I think. I believe all 3 of them are meant to be paired together at the right scale. So just I'm curious if anybody got them, what your experience was with the builds. Oops. All right, so it looks like the elbows are going to be attaching using axles, potentially. So that's going to give us the shaping that we wanted for him. But that means his elbows won't bend or move. Potentially. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Where's the bracket? Not that one, not that one, not that one. Is it hidden? Oh, look! 25 years of Star Wars. Make that 27, I think. Right? Did he come out last year? I thought he came out in 2023 because I think the instructions say 2020 or 2024. I think the instructions say 2024, but it could be that that's when they were produced, and so that's the copyright that's on them, and it could be that he was made before then. So not quite sure. Trying to remember if he and the other droids were released last year around Star Wars Day, or if it was 2 years ago. Another that I really want is Chopper. I don't think I've already said this. I made a mental note to mention it, but now I'm like, wait, did I just say this? Um, he's so funny, but I think the scale of that one also is off from these. So I don't know that it would necessarily fit the same scale. But he's cool. He's really, really cool. Well built, well designed. Okay, so I'm gonna set these arms down for now. Yeah, so many pearl gold pieces. This is great. All right, and what's interesting is we're using minifigure wands in a similar fashion for this portion. So there's got to be something about why they're included in this build, but it doesn't make sense to me yet. I've also I see a lot of people post on threads about getting into Lego, which is a lot of fun. I'd love to see more people joining the hobby. But a number of them have been complaining that they're getting sets with missing pieces. And I don't know that that's true. I think it's that they're not noticing that their pieces are hidden in the bags or something. But I would love to know from y'all if you ever run into missing pieces, if you'll let me know and what set it came from. That would be helpful to be aware of so that I can pass that on to Lego. Because if there are some major quality control issues, they need to know. So um, if that's been the case for you, please speak up. Right. So, see, we're getting a little sticky point coming out here as well. It's odd. All right, so do any of y'all have any movies that you're wanting to see soon? Anybody see or interested in seeing The Devil Wears Prada 2? We loved it. I think I talked about this a little bit on Monday. The soundtrack is fantastic, and I still have been listening to it since then. So loving Lady Gaga's music in it, and the song she does with Doechii is incredible, and such an earworm for me right now. It was really fun though. I want to go see it again, but I don't know that I'll get to the theater to see it again. It'll probably just be one that once it's available to watch or stream, I'll watch again. So all right, so now we're building a hand. It's going to attach here. The thumb is using one of these pieces that has like the little notch sticking out from it. So I'll put it on and then show you up close. So there's the thumb. And then underneath on this black thing is where we're going to put the sticker. So finally getting close to being done with the stickers, which is good. This is sticker number 8. I never really thought about his hands having these little cords in them, but I guess that makes sense. All right, and then we're using these little claw things for the other fingers. And we're actually getting 4 fingers, which is good because I was afraid we were only getting 3 based on the size of this. And I was like, oh, I don't want a hand that has 4 fingers total, like a thumb and 3 fingers. So I still like doing stickers pre-build, like all of them up ahead, like you begin with them. Interesting. I mean, I don't blame you. That's a good idea. But I have always done them just while I'm doing the build. So okay, some of these fingers are awfully close to each other, so let's separate them a little bit. There we go. So I'm using my fingernail to get them a little bit separated, but oh my gosh. Hi, friends. Hello. That's pretty cute. Okay, so here's one arm. Is this the right one? Looks like it is. And then this is going to go on this side. So yeah, we got the elbow. And then it tells us to build this, which I already did from looking ahead or from just kind of mirror imaging it. And then I build the other hand. So let's get that hand going. We are almost done. It's a very satisfying build. I'm very pleased with this one so far. The sculpting, I feel like they nailed the face and the shape. And again, that torso curve, like it's so natural. It really looks right. Hello, Bev and Missy. Welcome, welcome. How are y'all? Yep, dig out the pieces. Windex sticker. Have a set or 2 right now in backlog, currently stickered. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I do not do that. I put the stickers on as I'm going. So yeah, it just works for me. So that way. The new Mandalorian movie, yes. Philip just got our tickets yesterday. Cannot wait. That'll be fun. And we need to catch up on the show and make sure, or not catch up, but do a recap of the show and remind us of what happened because it's been a while. But yes, very much looking forward to that movie. Okay, here's the other thumb. So we are on to the sticker and then the fingers, and then there's like 12 pieces left. We did it. We did it, y'all. Okay. Get these fingers on and let's call it a day with this character. Hey, buddy. Right. Yep, that's right. Okay. All right. Good job, Lego designers. You did it again. You knocked it out of the park. All right. So we have those. Hello. Let's see. Glad to hear you're doing well and that it's been a busy week. It's been a little busy over here too, but good. Philip's big project finally shared. So that's been fun. And yeah, what else? What else do we got for you? I think those are the main things. All right, so we put this on. Whoops, come on. There we go. And then we push these back. Okay, so that's meant to look like wires around his elbows. And I'm guessing the other ones are meant to look like wires on the inside. Yeah. I'm guessing that's what those are for. felt not necessary, but I guess it is. He's so good. Like his movement is just doo-doo-doo. It's so perfect. All right, let's finish this guy with a stand. Doo-doo-doo. Oops. What's fun is I'm counting the pieces I used, and I said there's about 12 pieces left, and I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I was off by 1. Oh, the games I like to play with myself. Okay. Gotta keep it interesting. All right, so wait, where does this one go? Wait a minute. Do I just have this random extra piece? Oh no, it goes on top of here. Of course. Ta-da! All right, so this connects here and here. This goes on here, like so. We angle it back just a tad. Whoops. There we go. And then we move over our little friend. Yay! There's the sign. Very last part of the build. We also have the 25 years of Star Wars, Lego Star Wars, and the piece de resistance. Here's our buddy. Yay! Celebrate. Woohoo! All right, y'all. Okay, that was fun. That was really fun and very satisfying. I'm thrilled to have him for my shelf. He's definitely going to go on the Lego Master shelf for now. And then once I get the R2D2 to replace the other one that's a little bit too small for him, then we'll be good. So just to show you scale with the other one, this is the guy that came in the Mindstorms set. So I feel like he's a little too big for him. I don't know. What do you think of the scale? What do you all think? Is this close enough? Do I need to get the other R2D2 or is this one sufficient? I'm sure Philip would say this one's sufficient. So let's see. Glad I got to see you finish this one. Yay! At work again in gray, cloudy Albany. Oh, bummer. I'm sorry it's cloudy. It's been dark here. We've been getting a ton of rain, but it's still been nice because it's cooler weather and we're not used to the chill. So I'm enjoying having a little bit of the rain when we normally get super hot temperatures this time of year. But it has been the rainiest season that we've gotten since 2020. And before that, it was like decades before that it was even close to that. So yeah, but really satisfying. I'm loving, just to show you all the details that I love. The shaping, that like slight curve makes it look very natural and human-like, right? Or cyborg-like still. The curve out of the legs, where the feet are like just a little bit out to the left and right too, also looks great. His movements are very jolty in a way that feels right for him. He doesn't have any ability to twist at the waist or bend at the waist or bend the knees or elbows. So like some of those things are locked in place, but quite frankly, I don't care because I think truthfully he's not meant to be played with so much as he is meant to be on display. So I think this is perfectly fine. But I would have bought him for display, not for play. So I get if others differ in their opinions. Great part usage. I love the mix of pearl gray, metallic silver with the light bluish gray, and then the mix of the pearl gold with the dark tan and just giving it a little bit of dimension. It helps make the shiny parts pop a little bit better. And I'm obsessed with the sculpting on the head. I think it was really, really well done. The only thing that I don't understand is if this hole that's in the top of the back of his head is meant to be there. I'm going to have to pay closer attention to C-3PO next time I watch a movie with him in it, because I don't remember him having that. So not sure if that's just to kind of create the shape. What are the eyes made of? So the parts for the eyes are using those, oh, it came out completely. It's using this piece that has like the little tiny um, bar sticking out of it, with another brick behind it, and then on top of a radar dish with shiny yellow translucent um, stud, and that goes in, and then the mouth is just printed on. So really cool. Any other questions about this one before I move in behind me and start on the next build? Thank you all for joining. This has been a lot of fun. And I'm glad that I got to finish him with you. A lot of times I get partway through and then I'm not able to completely finish a build, and then I move on to the next one the next week. So this was very satisfying to actually finish. Let me put him back here with our droid army. And we'll bring our R2 friend back. Oh no, Rowlet fell. This is my weird mix of Pokemon and Star Wars. Basically, this is my haha to my husband of all the nerdy things. He loves Lego, but he's not a big fan of Pokemon, and he enjoys Star Wars, but he's not like a big Star Wars fan like I am. And so, yeah, his tolerance of the fact that this is constantly silly behind me in our kitchen for right now. That's another reason I need to get back into the Lego room. So let's put these signs back here too, just to have them out of the way. All right, so next build. I'm surprised you got the boost version of R2 rather than the 25th anniversary model. So I wanted the 25th anniversary model and I wanted the boost model, which I wanted that before. And the reason I wanted the boost model before was because I had learned the programming language and all of that kind of stuff for Lego Masters. And coming back from that was like, it'd be so fun to, that was always a set I wanted. I thought it was really cute. And it was on sale at a really nice price at our Bricks and Minifigs a year ago for May the 4th, I think. And so I bought it and was thrilled to have it, and already had the R2D2 25th anniversary in my wish list, but just decided, I don't know if and when I need it. We'll see. I'm not sure. And so for now, that's what I have as a companion for C-3PO, but I could see me eventually getting the other one. So the boost model is just really, really cool. It is smoother. I like the shaping of it. I think it's really, really beautiful and sleek. And I love that I can have it drive around the house, even though I don't really ever do that. The few times that I played with it, I was like, this is just so cool. So it is one that I just really enjoy having. And the technology and boost and mindstorms and such, my previous company was involved in those things. And so I have an affinity towards that a little bit too. So that's why, but I may eventually get the newer R2 to replace with this one. So we'll see. So Speed Champions, not my normal build style, but as I said at the beginning of the stream, I had a great conversation recently with one of the producers from Lego Masters who also worked on a film for Lego that was a documentary on when they built 10 full-size drivable Lego Speed Champions into real cars for F1, and they had the drivers all drive it together in the drivers parade in Miami 2025. So it's a really great documentary, and let me look at the name of it again so I don't forget. And of course, it disappeared from my text messages. Let me scroll back through. It is called Bricks on Track, Building the Lego F1 Drivers Parade. And I am going to paste the link in here. Let's see if it does this right. Pasting from my phone. Okay, here we go. All right. Here's the link to watch it on Tubi if you have Tubi. Tubi is free. But it was really fun. So I told him, oh, I'll watch it. We watched it last night while Philip was building his messy fig and I was sorting Lego. And it was so fun. And it just made me really excited to finally get around to building these. So I have this Speed Champions one, and then I have this tiny one that's super cute. So I think I'm going to build the tiny one first, and then we'll see time-wise if I want to continue with the big one or not. If I do, if there are stickers, I may not put the stickers on because I could see myself parting that one out. Um, but I think the last Speed Champions one I had didn't have stickers, so I can't remember. Or if it did, there were a lot of printed parts too. Yeah, this little tiny one I thought was really cute, and they sent this along as well. So let's pop into this one. This is the F1 Academy vehicle, the mini F1 Academy car. Our friend Jean, many of you know her, Jean's version, got a chance to actually go to Miami and see this driver's parade in person live. And so I was excited to get to watch this because it's such a treat to get to see that live, like so cool. And I'm so happy for her that she got that experience. So I need to reach out to her and just be like, hey, I finally watched this and it's so cool. So, all right. So first, there's this printed tile, the square tile that has those 12 or 15 little dots on it. Very, very tiny printing, very tiny design for a graphic designer to work on, but very important too to get it right. All right, this is a very easy build for sure. But it's cute. I like these little tiny cars. And yeah, I don't typically build cars all that often. It's not something that I really intend to like. I don't go and buy the sets and build them on my own unless it's related to a movie typically. And that's more about the nostalgia than it is about the build experience of the car. But I've grown to actually really enjoy learning the different techniques that you get from building styles that are outside your wheelhouse. So um, that's why I thought I should probably get around to building this eventually. So, and I also like with this how sleek and small this little one is. Um, hmm. Looks like I'm missing a piece. No, I'm not. It's right here. Ooh, fun. This one has some interesting colors too. So it has the new purple in it in both a tile, 1x2 tile in that new purple, and then also in this little 1x2 rounded Jepper plate one. So bye. Thanks for joining, Stefan. Um, Yes, thanks again for joining. Always good to see you. So, Jean made an appearance in the UCS N1 showcase video. Yeah, that was so fun to see. As soon as we saw her in it, Philip was like, "Oh my gosh, did you see?" and sent it to me, and it was like at the same time I was watching it. It's like I did, and so I messaged her and I was like, "Jean, the way that Philip actually audibly screamed, 'Oh my gosh, that's Jean!' We were so excited to see you there." So she's a good friend. She's good people, and it's nice to live in the same city with her. And occasionally we get together for coffee and stuff. It's been a while, so I need to reach out again. So lately, I know she's also been doing some live streams, and they typically fall around the same time, which is kind of fun. So for those of you that were here to do the raid on her stream, that was really fun. Thanks for joining. One of my favorite things was my father-in-law was one of the people who did it, and I didn't even know he was still on that day. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love that you did this too." So thank you for yelling at her in her thread. Okay, and here this is not what I thought. I was like, that's weird that there's a box for like a cape or something. No, it's stickers, tiny, tiny stickers, which I do appreciate they put them in this box because it was in one of the paper poly bags. And so I could see them getting destroyed. But I will also say I'm kind of disappointed that there are stickers. I don't love putting on stickers on tiny parts, but these are worth it for this little car. The colors are too cute. And I'm sure there'll be other reasons I can use these sticker parts later too, so. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last time I've seen a poly bag that had stickers. Can y'all think of a time that you saw one? I don't feel like that's very common. I don't love that idea so much. Ooh, yay! Okay, so I love this new part. new in the last couple of years. And I love that we're getting it in more colors. So let me put this on and then I'll show you what the part is. It is these rounded parts that are like perfectly round studs, basically, that raise up and over. They're just really fun. So we're getting it in bright pink, which is great. I know we have it in red and black and the translucent black, and I want to say in white maybe, but I haven't seen it in this pink yet. So it was one of the parts that I requested when I was doing the Wicked project, and it's really fun that we ended up not using it in the build after all. But wait a minute. Oh, never mind. We ended up not using it in the build after all, so I have a handful of them in black and in translucent black, which is fun. So, all right. Let's see. Yeah, when I was doing the greebling on the skirt that I designed, that was a piece that we toyed with to see, and it just didn't. It didn't have the same effect as the flat, ones. Like, I ended up moving away from curved ones for greebling and did just the, like, flat ones because they gave more of the vibe of, like, sparkles when the light hit them, than the curved ones did. So it had a better, stronger effect for what we were going for. But we didn't know until we knew, right? You had to actually try, and I loved that experience with that project. It was all trial and error, and there was so much fun that came out of that, experience. So, all right, a few more stickers. And then I'll show you the final build. Curious if any of you had already seen that documentary though, and if so, what you thought of it. I really, really enjoyed it. It was fun. So, um, I actually need to text him back and say, "Hey, I watched it. It was really cool. Thanks for the rec." And I'll tell him that I told you all to watch too. Okay, I love that that little pink circle is the head of the driver. That's really cute. Micro scale building techniques, just so fun. I really love to see clever uses of parts. All right, one sticker down, one remaining, and then I will put on the wheels and we will have a finished vehicle. So let me put that here. Whew. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a poly bag that has stickers in it, so that would be my one complaint about this set. But also, it'd be really weird for them to spend the money for printed parts for just a poly bag. Like, that would be an expensive decision to make. So I get why. And I'm not a sticker hater, but I don't love when you have to put stickers on very small pieces. Okay, done with that. Oops. Oh no. Let's give it some wheels. Yay! Fun. Which way do these go? Oh, I have them backwards. There we go. That looks better. All right. The other thing that's fun about building these speed champions, the larger or the regular size ones, is just seeing the scale comparison with the pop culture ones. Like, I love the idea that these could drive through a Lego town, if people had a whole town set up right. And so, yeah, I think it's a good scale for sure. Okay, here it is. That's cute. I like that one. Good job, Lego. So I love the colors of this, and I want to see the car comparison between the real car. So there's this one. This is the tiny one. Let me grab the bigger one that I built already and show you that. I built that one to show the comparison with the Batman cars, since they're all speed champions as well, or the three of them that they did, not speed champions, but they're speed champion scale. But this is the other one that I built that you've probably seen. Really fun. I love the colors in this one, and lots of printed tiles as opposed to stickers in this one. The only difference is this piece here is my own piece, because I took the one that was printed to take out and borrow for my little Pikachu. As I was building that car, I was like, at the moment I saw this piece, I was like, y'all, that is meant to be Pikachu's ears for sure. So I had to steal that one for my little guy here. But yeah, these are just fun little sets. But more importantly, watch the documentary. It was really cool. It was really interesting. I'm glad I did. I had a really good time with it, and really enjoyed seeing the stories of like how it all came to life, and just thinking through the number of decisions that have to be made for something like that to happen. Like, that's one of the things I really love about getting to hear about Philip's job. And, probably likewise with him hearing about the work that I've done in the past and whatnot. There are so many things that have to fall into place for something to be successful. And people often aren't really aware of that whole thing. So yeah. Let's see, it's 3:20. Yeah, let's build this one. Why not? So this is the other F1 car that came out, I want to say in March. Might have come out in March. Might have come out in April. Um, so it is the Audi Revolut F1 Team R26 vehicle. There are some stickers. I'm going to hold off on putting these on because I will be probably parting this one out eventually. And I don't want the stickers on it, I don't think. One of the things I found interesting in that documentary was them talking about how they had to source actual real tires that they would build around with the Lego in order for it to actually work. And learning about the different types of tires that they have to use for racing, and how there's just a variety in what you do with them. So like some are made for wet, like if it's raining or whatever, others are if it's dry. Okay, here's our little character. Doo, doo, doo. Fun outfit, kind of bland, but that's okay. And then, the helmet is pretty cool. I like the shape of the helmet. And here's the face. He has black hair. It's pretty standard black hair. So I'm gonna put that on just so you can see him. There's our fig. Doo, doo, doo. He drives the car. It's neat to me too. In the documentary, they talk about like the guy who designs Lego Speed Champions cars for a living, was involved in this project too, and he's kind of the lead person that they follow through the whole story. But he talks about how growing up he wanted to do these specific types of things, and how this is a dream job for him. And I just love hearing about like what inspired you to enjoy the Lego hobby, and got you into this, and what inspired you to want to do the job that you have now as an adult, right? There are so many fun ways that we all find our way into our own hobbies and our own excitement in life, like neat things that we experience and kind of move through. And everybody's story is different, and it's just fun. It's neat to see. And so one of the things that they talk about in this documentary as well is a little bit about diversity in the sport, and how one of the reasons that this other person from the F1 team, who's working on the project, is involved in her job is specifically related to helping bring more diversity into the sport. And how, if you see it, you can be it. That's a common phrase that goes with the phrase representation matters. But it means that, like, if you never see anybody like you in the type of work that you want to do, how it can be hard for you to ever see yourself having a way to reach success that way. So, even if you know it's possible intellectually, it's different to actually see someone who has navigated and experienced it, and has found their way to success. And also, we tend to, when we mentor other people that are new in a community, we tend to gravitate towards people that are like us. And so, things like an internship, as an example, you might get an internship because you know somebody who works at the racetrack that you wanted to get the internship at, right? They don't talk about all this in the documentary. The documentary is actually about the Lego pieces, but the representation piece does come up a little bit in it. But you may get the job at the racetrack because you know the owner of the racetrack, and you happen to know them because they are your neighbors. Well, they're your neighbors because they live in the same community. You live in the same community, likely because you found your house where you live, maybe through the same realtor or through somebody that knows that neighborhood well, or whatever. Like, we are so impacted by and shaped by who we know, that when there are not people that you know in a workplace environment, or that have the same experiences you do in life, it's easy to miss out on some opportunities that other people just kind of walk right into. And so, that's where, when we think about diversity in a workplace, part of it matters because it's important for us all to recognize that each of us has a different lens that we see the world in, and that helps us solve problems in different ways. So it gives you diversity of thought, which means, we think in unique and different ways from each other. But then also, it helps with, like, giving people a pathway that they see for themselves that maybe they didn't see before. Um, and so, I know that when I worked in corporate, and I was running the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, I sought out a mentor who was a queer man at the company because he had been successful in navigating his way to leadership in the company. And I wanted to know from him, like, what did he do to be successful in his career, and how did he make it through, and what was it like the first time that he brought his husband to an event, and how do you advocate for yourself, and yeah, just different things, because he could relate to and connect with my experiences. And he was such a helpful mentor, and also became a very good friend, which is great. And I just remember being so impressed by him and learning so much from him. And seeing him in leadership gave me confidence, even in the job search process, that this is a company that is going to welcome me in as a man married to a man, right? And as someone who presents less masculine, maybe at times, than other people, and such, that, like, that's not going to be a drawback for me, but that they're going to support me and connect with me there. So, a little bit of rambling there, but essentially, seeing people that are like you, being successful in areas that you are interested in, allows you to start seeing that future for yourself potentially. So that's where I think it's important for us to see diversity in the workplace, diversity in the media, diversity in racing, and all these different spaces. So, um, and I think sometimes people confuse that for, saying that we need to give someone um, a leg up, or give someone an out to not having to perform well in their job just because they look a certain way or act a certain way or whatever. And that's not true at all. That is completely dismissive for people. And it's also something that is often weaponized against people who are in roles, because they're, like, having to prove themselves twice. They have to show in the job search process that they deserve the job. And then after they get the job, they have to show to all their colleagues that they got the job because they actually were qualified. And we should trust that decisions are made based on qualifications, and not assume that someone got a job because they're a woman, or because they're non binary, or because they're queer or black or disabled or whatever. So, anyway, ramble, 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 all to say, This was a really cool documentary about the process of building Lego cars, and they do talk with and work with a woman who is involved in um, making F1 more accessible for people. So they show kids towards the end as well, interacting with the drivers. And it's just neat to see how the kids are inspired by these Lego cars. And they even see their own sense of play showing up there on the track with it being Lego. And also to see the like joy and play that the adults have who are driving the cars and how that's really fun. Like it's really a treat. So. And if you also enjoy Lego building, it's a treat to watch people build these massive, massive cars. So there's a scene where they show the first time that the Lego employee saw all 10 cars parked together. And it's a really powerful scene because he's like, oh my gosh, just watching your dream come to life. It's so powerful. So, yay. Definitely watch it. And tell all your friends. I think it came out maybe in the last 6 months. So not sure how long it's been out. You may have already seen it. I actually was wondering if Jean had promoted and I never saw it. I don't know. So I'll have to ask her if she's seen it. Interesting. So this is an odd technique. So we use brackets over here that go down or up, and then we attach brackets on the side. But the way that we do is a different way, but the math works out perfectly, which is odd because usually switching between brackets can cause some problems. But look at this. So the red is the extra little part of the bracket that slides down and sticks out a little bit, and this just magically fits perfectly when we do it like that. Um, so it's the fact that those red parts line up perfectly is really odd and cool. So, yay, and I love these tiles that have I call them shield tiles. I love getting those in all different colors. I had used them in the build for the back of my Rowlett design, and I need more of them in lime to complete the Applin one. So, right. If any of you watch F1, do you have a specific race car driver that you care about or follow along with? Or team? Right, almost done with 2 bags, and then we will be finished with or on to the 3rd bag, which is the final one. Oh, I also love these pieces, which are similar to that other one when you put them together, but it's those little chipped notch tile pieces. So, I would love to have a giant collection in all the colors for those. I think they're so useful. Let's see, how did this one go? A little confused as to what's happening here. Let me. Oh, okay. Goes like that. Interesting. Little like notch out of the side. All right, then we flip. Oh, yep, we're still staying on this side, and we are adding some more red detail over here. And then we have this printed piece, and it says Kamazi? That might be the driver. That might be one of the brands. I don't know. Let me know if you know. Kamazzi. Camozzi. And then we have another printed part that says Revolut, which is the team. Maybe the team is Kamazzi Revolut. I don't know. So. All right. I'm also wondering if the chat feature is working because it was populating a little bit faster and then I haven't seen much in there. So if it's not, I'm sorry. Don't know what happened. Technology can be annoying sometimes. Or perhaps you're just quiet, which is also fine. So, all right, this car is very red and black, so there's going to be some nice parts to be able to use again in different ways, which is good. I like building things like this in part for the parts, for sure, and also, again, for learning the process for building them. Like, you learn different techniques and things, so testing. Okay, it's good. Thanks, Bev. I appreciate you testing to check on that. So, all right. So we have both the Revolut on either side. And then, oh, this is interesting. So this is typically a minifigure part. It's like meant to be something that goes over the neck of a character, and then you can attach wings to the back of them or something, or like part of a backpack. But this is being used in a very different way for part of the wheels, which is cool. So really interesting. It's kind of an odd way to attach the stuff. I think sometimes I think Lego does that kind of stuff to show like, oh, this is a cool way to use a piece that you didn't think of using before, which is kind of fun. It's like a nice way to emphasize in PU. So you went to stock car races in high school. Really? Oh, that's fun. Um, yeah, y'all don't watch any car racing. I don't really either. But watching that documentary was really cool. And it's less about the race and more about the process of building a life size vehicle, which is just really cool to think through, like what you would have to go through to make that happen. Okay, yeah, this is like a fascinating way to attach the wheel. It's so different. And then it attaches in these Technic parts. So, right. Okay, odd. Gonna do it again on the other side. For the other wheel. Yeah, these Speed Champions cars also are really should be credited for a lot of the new Lego printed parts that we have. Like it's a really interesting, a lot of the cool, not printed, new molds that we have. A lot of the new shapes and molds for Lego come from these sets. So that's been a treat to learn about. Let's see, so that's going to go this way. And a lot of the parts that we see being used in mosaics often started here too, which I think is really fun. So, all right, let's see. High school was a really long time ago. No, I doubt it, Bev. We're like the same age, right? There are times when I'm like, how in the world has time flown by so much and so quickly? Like yeah, high school feels like an eternity ago for me. All right, so we get another one of those printed parts. that we saw in this smaller vehicle with those little shiny silvers. And that's going to go on the back of the vehicle here. Okay. That's fun. I don't know what else I could use that for, but it's nice that I'm going to have 4 of them because there's an extra in both of the sets. So, all right. We're getting closer to finished. Let's see. And I think we're going to have a steering wheel here in a minute. And it's fun to me because these steering wheels always look like they are, what do you call them? They always look to me like they're uh, joysticks from a video game. What remotes? No, not remotes. What do we call that? Joysticks? Not joysticks. Why is this escaping me? Oh my gosh, my brain. I think I've hit tired today. I think that's what's happening. And so the end of my stream today is going to be a little chaotic. But controllers, like controllers from a video game. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, here it is, the step where we put it on. So check out the printing on this. Oh yes, thank you, Missy. Yumi and Missy are the same age. I think so, Bev. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, isn't that cool printing? All right, so that's gonna go here. So now someone can drive the car. Pretty cool. All right, bag 3, last and final. And like I said, we're skipping the stickers on this. That's gonna make it a little faster, but also slightly less detailed, and that's okay. It is interesting to have paper bag after doing all the plastic from C-3PO. Oh, Penny is alive and well if you don't hear her. She's yelling at y'all. Thanks for joining the stream. Justin is weird and silly sometimes. She was real excited to see our in-laws yesterday. She loves them. She gets a little barky with them too, but it's all out of love. I love to see them greet her and love on her too, because they know that she's a part of the family. All right, we're getting those interesting new cheese wedges that are like the double ones that have the corner shapes for the cheese wedges. It's hard to tell, but if I can get that to catch the light, you'll see. But those are nice. Control stick, yes. It's probably called a control stick for one of these cars too, right? All right, and then we get these. Oh, interesting. Not these. There are 1x4 wide cheese wedges now. I don't think I've seen those yet. That's cool. Those are going to be very handy in the future. I am not putting the stickers on. It's going to get mad at me. That's okay. Okay. Oops. Hey, Penny. Girl, that's not going to help at all. It doesn't matter how hard I try, which that was not trying very hard. But she's going to keep on keeping on with her barking. She sees something outside, and that's all it takes. Oh, one of the things I love that they're doing on this one that we also saw on the other F1 car is the use of, there's some good NPU. So right now, there is this one that's the ice skating skate that gets used upside down for the back of for the fin on the car up here. And then also the use of, and when I'm not there yet, but I just saw them in the bag, the use of spoons for the little mirrors, which I think is so fun. So, oh, hi, girl. Welcome back. Did you yell at them adequately? She just walked past, completely ignoring me. Of course. Of course, rude pep. Where is that piece? Here it is. Okay. All right, so looks like we're doing some engine details here. And fun little use of clips and things. All right. Okay, so I have a question for y'all in the chat. I was able to get some. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is interesting. First off, these two are printed tiles that go side by side. One is on like a cheese wedge and one is on an actual tile. But I love that they fit so perfectly with the outie thing. But on the very back of this cheese wedge, that really thin line is one other spot for a sticker, which nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna do it, y'all. You can't make me. Okay, my question though is, I just found out some of the new sets that I'm getting for the June 1st wave. I'm very excited about a lot of them. One is a wave of some Disney sets, and another is a wave of the Fortnite sets. So I'm curious if either of those interest you more, one more than the other. I plan to probably do a week of streaming for one of the two. I was curious on what your thoughts were with that. So let me know. Do you want to see either Disney sets or Fortnite sets done as a wave, where I do the whole wave like in a week potentially, or a large part of the wave in a week? Um, would you want to see that for both of them? I think some of the waves I might do separately and then finish the rest of the wave out on a live stream, but I don't know for sure. So just wanted to see if you have a preference on that, since y'all are part of the fun of this too. Of course, I do this for y'all, so make sure that it's something that you're interested in. Or if you have no preference, that's also fine. All right. Yeah, there's plenty of printed parts in here. I don't think the stickers are necessary, but others would probably disagree. So, okay. Okay, this is the very front of the vehicle, and it's interesting to see kind of the shaping of that, and we're getting those like little things on the front of a car. Right. And then, of course, continuing on with the tiny stickers that I don't think are fully necessary. Got some stickers that are going on these little triangle pieces. Hey, friend, how's it going? Thank you for the package. Hector sent me some really fun Pokemon things, which was so sweet. I went to re-sleeve my Pokemon and my Pokemon cards, and I found that there was a stack of like four Pokemon cards, or there was a stack of like 14 Pokemon cards that I bought from a store, and I cannot track them down. And they're important for the decks that I'm playing. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I know they're in the house somewhere, but that just led me to start spring cleaning. So I haven't gotten around to re-sleeving yet because I'm still trying to track down these final ones. So, but I appreciate you. That was really kind of you. Um, all right. So this is going to attach with this Technic piece. And then I think this is also going to give us the visual a little bit of the wheels, maybe. Let's see. I don't know the Fortnite characters, but it doesn't matter what you do. I just like hanging out and watching you build. Yay! Okay, sounds good. The Fortnite ones, some of them are characters, some of them are like scenes from the game. And I think those will be ones that would be really fun because it's a variety of some sculpted builds and some minifigure scale builds. So that was what I was leaning towards, whereas the Disney ones, there's kind of two waves they're sending me. One is the princess waves, which is mostly mini doll scale, actually all mini doll scale. And then the other one is more like sculpted builds. So um, I'm excited with the volume of sculpted characters that we're getting this go around. But yeah, I was leaning towards the week long being Fortnite. So thanks for letting me know your thoughts. So gosh, happy Wednesday. It's wild to hear because in my head it wasn't Wednesday. I don't know why, but I just, yeah, this week has felt exceedingly long for some reason. So let's see. You're welcome. Hello, Rick and I are the same way. Sometimes I leave my Disney Lorcana cards somewhere and I forgot where I placed them. Rick does the same with his magic cards. Yes, like I have been trying to make sure that they don't go all over the house because that could easily happen. And I have no clue where I put them. And I'm like, what in the world? I was even looking back through my pictures from the day that I bought them because I was like, what did I do that day? Where else did I go? Did I leave them at a store or something? And then I remembered sitting on the couch, updating my deck in the TCG Player Live app or Pokemon TCG Live app. So I'm like, I know I actually had them in my hand at our house. So what in the world did I do with these silly cards? Oh, and it's annoying because you spend money on them. So I'm like, I bought them. They are mine somewhere. Hopefully they're still mine. They might be somebody else's now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're at home somewhere. I just need to track them down. So I was telling Philip yesterday, and I was like, I don't think he understands the problem. He does understand like me misplacing things. He's seen that before. So he gets that that happens to me sometimes. But yeah. Okay, why are these in the wrong spot? Oh, that's why. Okay. I put the mirrors in the wrong spot. Dadgummit. Oh man. Okay, let's try this again. I put on let me stop talking for a second. Okay. So these little tiny spoons, little tiny minifigure spoons are used for the mirrors, which I think is so cute. And I put them on the back instead of the front because there's clips in both spots and I just wasn't paying close attention. There's my lesson for the day. So there we go. So you can see them really cute up front. That's fun. And then these are, there's a little bar that goes, clips here and goes over, and then that's gonna kind of go around the minifigure when they're in there. So it like goes up for now and then it'll slide down over their head. So, all right. My recommendation is check your shirt pockets. Oh, okay. Rick ended up washing one of his. No. Oh no, it was a Godzilla hollow. Yeah. Bad news bears for sure. I was wanting to check my pants pockets because that would be a likely spot to put them. But I also was thinking like I might have worn a hoodie, a zip hoodie, or like a shirt like this. And so it absolutely could be in there somewhere. So I will go back through and look. Thank you. So, all right. Missy, do you play Magic or Lorcana? I feel like the more I talk about any of these things, the more I found out about people where I'm like, oh, I didn't know all these different people play the different games. So many people are like, you have to play Lorcana now. And I'm like, no, I'm resisting. I'm resisting. Don't let me get into it. One is enough. One is plenty. So, oh, interesting. Okay. So, weirdly, oh, that's why. Huh, okay. So I think there's two different styles of tires. Oh, I see. Okay. In the instructions it shows there's one that's a little bit thicker than the other. And so you need to use the thicker ones for this first thing. Okay, let me do that first and then I'll do the thin ones. Okay, there we go. Okay, the thin ones I got, those go on the front. There we go. And then the thick ones go on the back, but they require a little stud inside. So you do this, you put the stud in first, and then you can put in the dish. Whereas the front ones, because they were thin, you could just drop the dish in right away. So no, I just collect Pokemon cards. Good for you. All the collections, it's like, oh gosh, they can easily get out of hand for sure. So, um, all right. Okay, these are pretty cool. All right, so we have the vehicle. That was a pretty satisfying build. We open this up, and our little friend can go inside. Hey, buddy, want to drive a car? Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. Anybody know what that movie's from? So one of my favorites. It's a cheesy movie, which I love. All right, here we go. Get his little helmet on. Take his helmet hair off. And we have a driver. Woo! Okay, that was fun. That was really satisfying. Now I want to go back and rewatch that documentary and see if this specific vehicle shows up because it'd be neat to see this blown up into full size. So, yay! It is satisfying that they roll pretty easily. I have a shelf in my Lego room where I put all the Batman builds after I was done, and one of the Batmobiles, specifically the Batman and Robin one, likes to drive off the shelf and crash and break, and I have been so annoyed with it, and so finally yesterday, I was in there building something out of Lego, and I looked over and I could see the wheel turning. Excuse me. So I pushed it back to where it needed to go, and then I looked over at it and I could see the wheel ever so slowly turning, and I was like, "Okay, I caught you in action." So I took a plate and I put it behind this back wheel so that it can't move forward anymore, and I solved it so it won't fall and break anymore. All right, y'all. 3 more hours of building, and we got through 3 sets, which is pretty crazy cool. Here is the original Speed Champions one that I built that I love. Again, missing this part because I replaced it with a solid yellow one because I wanted to make my Pikachu. So here's my cute little Pikachu that I made with that printed piece, which was just too perfect for that. So then we did this little guy. Really adorable one. I love the micro scale version of this. It was nice to see those techniques kind of scaled down. But a poly bag with stickers, which shocks me. I've never seen one like that. And then, of course, finished with this one. Boo, boo, boo. Fun, fun, fun. But our main job was putting together that guy right there. That C-3PO is a really solid build. So let me pull it forward so you can see. No, come on, buddy. Come on. Woo. He's just so cool. So check out the curves, like such a natural curve that makes it look like very human-like. His arms can go up and down. His hands, he can like move his these 4 fingers can go up and down as well. Head can swivel. Hey. Hi. But a really solid build. I really like this. I think it was really good. So until the ghost moves the plate. Exactly. And that will happen for sure. If you get into Lorcana, I got plenty of extras if you want them to. I can even try and make a deck of your favorite Disney characters. Please don't for now. You're so kind. And please don't, because I need to not have another collection happen. So but thank you for mentioning that. That's sweet and fun. The other day I was at HEB and I bought this because it was on clearance. And the only reason I bought this is because it has parts in it that I had pulled out of my stash to build Rowlett. And I was like, I need those parts. I need them in more abundance because I'm out of them. I had to like take them out of a set already. But I was excited because I think I already have this one. And I think it's built as the seal right now. But I had to part out some of the pieces. So good times. Lots of sorting over here on my end. Okay, lots of rambling today, but it was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining for Revenge of the Sixth. Here's my fun shirt to show you for today. It says Happy Beeps. Philip did not understand that that's what he said. What it said. I think he thought it said "Happy Beers" the first time I wore it, which I thought was funny. But it's Happy Beeps, and it was made by my friend Chewbecca. Chewbecca Creates on Instagram. I bought this from her store because I love supporting local artists, and she's local to Colorado, so that to me is local because that's home. But she's great. So if you like nerdy Star Wars stuff, she is a good friend to check out her store. All right, talk to y'all soon. And yeah, hope you have a wonderful week. Reminder that today is the 6th, so that means next week will be the due date for our build challenge. So if you are planning to build something that includes one of those discs, hop to it. All right, good to see y'all. Thanks for joining. Build kindness, and may the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and all the numbers be with you.